Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, we'll rail fan the EX D&H in all kinds of weather, from sun and rain and showers. Today's video will feature one of Norfolk Southern's most famous locomotives on their roster, and that is their Conrail Heritage unit, the 8098. We'll take a look at that in a moment, but first, we got some other trains to look at, whether it be the 1-to-1 scale guys and the small guys, as we go to the Greene train show to see what that's all about. We'll also see some interesting containers and extra trains, so you're not going to want to miss this. That's all coming up right now. So here we go. Our first train will be the 16R right here at Walnut Ave, coming north with his usual 60E and 2 GEs on the point. This mixed manifest train is no stranger for this time in the morning. I tell you what, the lumber on that train Smells so nice. But you know what's not gonna smell so nice? When those double stack containers come back southbound on 11R and they're filled with trash. That ain't gonna smell too nice. Lumber smells good. Trash, not so much. Here comes 265 with the 6959, the 4374, and the 3631. There's a cause container in the mix, so let's check it out. The cause container in question is for Ashley for the Arts by Hub Group. Ashley for the Arts is a music and arts festival held for over 3 days in Arcadia, Wisconsin's Memorial Park, with funds donated to local charities. If you ever see one of these cause containers out in the wild while rail fanning, take a picture of it and then post it to social media with the hashtag cause container. When you put the photo and the hashtag on social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, etc., Hub Group will donate $100 to that charity that's on the container, plus $1 for each social media platform that you post the picture and hashtag on. The old iron on that bridge is still giving it all she's got. It still can hold big, tall intermodal trains like that. Alrighty, roll the next clip, please, and thank you. After 16R had cleared, we headed up to Greene, New York for the annual Greene Train Show that's held every spring, where we would watch trains of all shapes and sizes. And it wouldn't be raining, and that was pretty nice. Alright, it's April 2025, and we are in the Greene Train Show in Greene, New York. So let's check out and see what we got here. Well, that's interesting. Band scalers. I think we've got you covered here. There is so much. Just this little table. That's not even the motor power. This is just rolling stock. Here's the motor power. That's just N-scale. Scale motor power. And snow plow. It's also a good selection of HO rolling stock too. As you can see, some of them are selling like hotcakes. Got your older stuff over here. You got newer stuff over here in the bins, already in the boxes. It's nice. He's got Bill here has everything labeled, which railroad. If you're looking for a certain railroad, he's got a label here for it. And for non-specific railroads, there is a mixed one right here. Small show, but definitely a fun one to come to. Definitely family friendly. I like this one a lot. A lot of layouts running for the kids. Don't worry, O-scalers, there's stuff here for you. Can I help you?
No.
Okay. Luke, what railroad is that again?
There goes a PRR car. Yeah. Here we are in Greene, New York, and I found the Hershey squirts.
The Greene Train Show is not the biggest show ever, but it definitely is a fun one for its small size. However, it was time to get going as the real trains are finally coming again. As me and Luke would catch an extra 16R, symboled M6R going through Wells Bridge with a shiny new C6M on the point.
There goes.
Yeah. There goes M6R with a fresh C6M on the point, the 4912.
All right.
With two more following.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Oh, gosh. Here comes Norfolk Southern southbound manifest train K30. He's got the Conrail Heritage unit number 8098 trailing. It's April 12th, 2025. Been after this one for a while. I've seen it, but I've never caught it on camera, so here we go. In 1976, the government created the Consolidated Rail Corporation, also known as Conrail, to help financially struggling railroads that were struggling or on the verge of bankruptcy. Some of the most notable takeovers by Conrail was the Erie-Lackawanna, Penn Central, New Haven, Lehigh Valley, Jersey Central lines, and the Lehigh and Hudson River Railway. As the biggest railroad on the East Coast and in the Northeast, Conrail was very profitable. It wouldn't last forever though. In 1998, Norfolk Southern and CSX would split the Conrail system, with half of it going to Norfolk Southern and half of it going to CSX. Norfolk Southern and CSX both have heritage units dedicated to Conrail. For the purposes of today's video, we'll take a look at the Norfolk Southern Heritage Unit. And as 8098 is part of the 20 heritage units that were unveiled in 2012, 8098 was chosen to wear Conrail's blue and white scheme. Conrail back in the day was known as Big Blue thanks to its bright blue paint. 8098 isn't the only representative for Conrail, as many of Conrail's old locomotives still survive on Class 1 railroads and short lines today. I thank you all for watching this one. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless. We'll catch you next time. Conrail is definitely a big part of Norfolk Southern's history and predecessor railroads. Over half its predecessors from Norfolk Southern have come from Conrail. So that unit's a big deal. Blue and white is a good color combination. It's one of my favorite color combinations. And that just looks really good. Orange, blue, and white are my favorite colors.